Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So a lot of people in the audience either hold them or are interested in them, learning about them. You've mentioned a couple of times that many of your clients, or at least now becoming interested, have become interested. What are you seeing there? Is there anything specifically at the kind of intersection of crypto and whether it's estate planning, tax planning, anything like that?
Well, yeah, I've seen a lot of developments in the last particularly 2 or 3 years. I know crypto's been around longer than that, but the people that had crypto 5 and 10 years ago, they weren't necessarily wealthy, and the banks didn't really care about them. Now, all of a sudden, you have this whole new class of people that are, multimillionaires and even billionaires. And I think a lot of the traditional financial institutions, banks, trust companies, insurance companies, they're all starting to take notice. So you have some of the early movers in the space, Deltec in the Bahamas. You have Bank Frick in Liechtenstein that really led the way in what they called crossover finance. These were some of the banks that were really out there. Now, even some of you read almost every day in the news about, the traditional, the Merrill Lynch's or the Bank Americas, and they're trying to figure out ways to cater to the crypto community. We've seen trust companies come up with new ways to be able to properly hold crypto. That's something they never had to do. They work with companies like Fireblocks and other companies that can provide the kind of security that clients want. Somebody's not going to walk in off the street and say, here's a flash drive with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 Bitcoin, and I'm just going to fork it over to whoever is nice to me. They want proof that the security is at the very highest level, and I think that as we go forward the next 3, 4, 5 years, as Bitcoin makes another bull run and becomes a lot more valuable again, you'll have the financial institutions that figure out how to keep up and cater and serve the crypto community, and those who don't, and the ones who don't, I think a lot of them will go out of business or become sort of the second tier. Probably local community banks maybe won't, but the big banks that want to cater to wealthy people, they're basically being forced to learn quickly, hire people from those sectors to come in and help them organize their affairs. And as you said, there's sort of two groups. You've got wealthy people from some other industry. They made their money in real estate or, their business or whatever. And now they want to sort of dabble in the crypto space. They're sort of the latecomers. They've come along in the last 1 or 2 or 3 years. But then the other group are the people that were the early adopters. They were getting, Bitcoin when it was under $10. Ethereum at pennies, and those people are, that's a very, very interesting crowd. A lot of them never thought that they were wealthy. They still don't think of themselves as wealthy, and they are just slowly coming out of the woodwork. And we talk to those folks every day, and that's what they want to know. They want to know, okay, if I engage in traditional asset protection, estate planning, can the structures keep up? The legal structures first and foremost, but then the financial institutions, how can I be certain? How can I sleep at night knowing that, my Bitcoin's safe? And a lot of them come from the crowd where, it's sitting on a flash drive somewhere and they're the only ones that know about it. But we've all read about the stories of, the guy who threw away his computer in New York and he had $100 million of Bitcoin on it. So that's a bit of a wake up call as well. And, they do want traditional asset protection and estate planning. If they get hit by a bus tomorrow and die, they want to make sure that their kids and their family can, and charities, whomever, can access their wealth. So it's a balancing act. We have to, convince folks that the right kind of systems and structures are in place. It is new. These, like I said, I've been doing this 32 years, but in the crypto space, only probably less than 5. So all of the banks and trust companies. They're all scurrying around, some faster than others, to really put the best system structures, protocols in place to serve the crypto community. And I think crypto sitting right now about 2 trillion, all of the crypto industry. But as Bitcoin as the leader and Ethereum takes off again, that number is only going to increase. So I think more and more financial institutions will be wanting to cater to that clientele, and it's really pretty exciting. I mean, I'm sort of in the twilight of my career, but it's the old dogs learning new tricks and try to adapt things that I've been working with my whole career to the crypto community, and it's been very exciting.